Good afternoon, Betty. Indeed, Mombasa has been very busy ever since the fire broke out at the Jomo Kenyatta Airport in Nairobi, and as a result, having that airport cancelled, we've received 5 planes confirmed which were coming in from overseas. They have landed and they have been cleared. The immigration officer telling us that 1,381 passengers have been cleared. The flights that were coming in were from Amsterdam, Jeddah, Mumbai, Hong Kong, and Dubai. A good number of these passengers were landing in Nairobi and were scheduled to stay in Nairobi, but others were also in transit. So according to immigration, those who were supposed to land in Nairobi and stay here have already been cleared and released, and they're finding their own ways out of the airport. Those who are supposed to be in transit have been told have been retained there, and they're being processed pending further organization by their own airlines to see exactly how they shall be rerouted to the connecting flights who are now supposed to be happening in Nairobi, which we now believe will be done from Mombasa. Another interesting detail that is coming in: all the 5 flights received in Mombasa were belonging to the Kenya Air National Carrier KQ, and according to the passengers here, they say they are extremely dissatisfied with the manner in which KQ has handled them. The accusation is that they have been told to find their own way of getting to Nairobi. We spoke to 2 passengers. One of them was Ngugi Mbugwa, who says that when they arrived at 6 a.m. from Dubai, they received no communication why the plane was transferred to Mombasa until 2 hours later, when KAA officials and KQ told them that there was a situation at the JKIA, and then they were told to find their way to Nairobi. So they have been traveling. Some of them have been coming to Mombasa town, very dissatisfied, of course, and disappointed, according to them, with what KQ has said. Another one who also came in from Mumbai also told us the same story. When they were on air about to land, the flight was diverted, and they saw there was a situation at the JKIA. They landed in Mombasa. They said they also had to wait for about 2 hours before airport officials and KQ spoke to them, and the story is pretty much the same. Find your own way out, and they feel that perhaps KQ should have spoken about this. They're also saying that the manner in which they were handled at the airport itself wasn't really conducive for them. We tried to get a comment from the Kenya Airport Authority officials, but our cameraman was on the ground. Mwasi was telling us that there was a bit of hostility towards the journalists who are trying to get information there. We finally did get a comment from immigration and also the county commissioner, who is also the chairman of the County Disaster Management Committee, who updated us that the security has been improved and enhanced at the airport and also at the hotels, where some of the passengers are expected to go and spend a few nights as they find out exactly how to proceed with their journeys. So security has been beefed up at the airport and also at some of the installations that we expect some of those tourists to go and spend the nights. Of course, this also extends to the hotels here, which have been affected in one way or another. A lot of them were expecting a few passengers to depart the hotels. Our cameraman was at one of the hotels where we saw some of the tourists now having to check back into the hotels, but again, he tells me that the KQ officials, they actually tried to rough him up as he took the pictures. I do not know why there is this bit of hostility to the journalists who are simply trying to do their job, but we'll still be trying to push on to get the story exactly as it is. We also spoken to a cameraman, Eddie, who went to some of those bus stations, and he confirmed to us that some of the tourists, especially, or some of the passengers rather, were coming in and were told to find their way. The Kenyans actually moved into some of the bus stations, but talking about Coast Bus and Modern Coast, and have been able to find transportation. The latest detail I do have from the bus is that they have been fully booked for the day. So for any other passengers who haven't yet found a transport, they might have to look for other alternative means of transport or spend an extra night. We also learned that Modern Coast Bus Service itself has decided to get more buses from the road. Actually, some of them have gone all the way to the airport to pick the passengers from there. So that is the situation as it is right now. Still trying to follow up to see if there's any margin details, of which we shall let you know as and when we do get them. Betty.
Well, Ferdinand, just before I let you leave, because of these passengers who are being received, they had not been planned for by the Mombasa airport, is there a sort of strain from that side?
Well, we did ask the immigration department that, but they said that they have enough personnel to handle the overflow of passengers. According to him, there are those who are supposed to be checking out and those who are coming in their shifts, so they have actually overlapped. No one, according to him, has been allowed to leave, so they say they have enough personnel to handle the excess load or overflow of people coming in. At least 1,300 more people they're handling than they were expecting, but according to him, there is no backlog and that they have been dealt with properly. And according to him, actually, the 1,300 passengers who came in have already been processed and they are free to leave the airport for wherever they want to go, except for those who are in transit, who of course have to wait for their respective airlines to process them for the transit routes.